How does it feel? Does it feel good to, well, to know that you kind of lost uh, anyway, even when you think you're winning? And why is that? Well, um, that's that's subject for a longer speech later on, perhaps. But I don't know. Uh, I've come to realize some things. I've done some self work on myself in relation to uh, well, if I managed to fix my brain. Actually managed to fix it. Um, but it's kind of my secret how I did. I won't tell you. But no, you haven't disturbed that. And why is that? Well, that might be because I found out that that well, a major part of this fucking insane world where well, I don't know if it is conspiracy, if it's kind of like the majority of people that does it, but I found out how well how it is, how the process has been going on for a long time in this kind of sense to I don't know, um well, you do what you do, this stupid shit that you always do, and kind of feed on feed on good people, and take collective proud over that shit. And I don't know, well, at least I find kind of, well, I didn't do it, it wasn't me, I didn't do it, you did it yourself. And I hate the word. I, that is, in, had, well, um, but I had to foster, well, everyone. It's so, this fucking world. It's so insane. And I mean what you are doing. It's 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 rather insane because it demands submission of the individual, either towards um, everyone, or else it demands that you sort of, well, and that is a shit ass pussy system. If you wanna make, well, if you actually want peace, if you are like that, well, that is shit ass system. Well, I found out anyway. I I gave the I gave the woman a shot. I gave her a shot. She got a few shots, but well, I shouldn't have done that. I I shouldn't have done that. Well, it will. Yeah. At least now she can't, well, nag about me being kind of untrusty, wordless, or whatever. I don't know. But I found out that I shouldn't have given her a shot. But because there was some kind of fucking whale around, taking some proudness in there, and then we had the native thing, and and the and the all the blue surrounding on on social media that somehow um seem to gloat in their civilized manage of of how much of a fucking douchebags they actually are when it comes to matters of well, it is a lot. Well, it you know, it ain't just about this. Well, but the thing is that in this circumstance, and it is actually a rather good conversation to have, but I won't have it in its entire length now. The thing is, like, the Marxism, they have tried to, the Marxist, or the left together with the socialists, they have tried to demean me and devalue me from my freedom for a longer time, and they have made this kind of pressure where I get psychologically abused in in the sense of not knowing ever if I am to uh, get out my 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 freedom on paper. That is one circumstance that has been going on for a long time. Then we have then we have the media that used to, well, take some responsibility, which, well, well, time changes, they do, but I found out that this kind of social movement, together with because they are, well, the whale, the eye, well, he has the lashes on those, and on that group, the socialists, for sure, for a long time, well, perhaps forever. It has been like that at least since, well, the last fucking 100 years, something like that. Uh, um, so I could imagine, that that he he's this kind of type that well, that gets kind of bitter in the long run. So, but anyway, his in influence on the red community that has been going, that has been trying to, well, engage and envelope me in false love and a lot of fucking violence and rape attempts in posting as people that I built trust towards. So that is one case. It's, the this kind of propaganda form, this rape of the mind, on the mind, in the lie that it is something else. That one has been stirring things up. But the problem here is, well, the problem is that they loaded too much in it. Way too much. Because it is obvious that the whale, the eye, has been trying through his connections with the influence in the left and social domain here, that is upholding my unfree, my imprisonment, which is real and no fucking game. That is one thing. And then we have the media that, in at least for some time back, did what they could in order to make justify possible to realize. But then I found out how those kind of people also got, well, kind of tortured, harassed, threatened in their civil lives. And I know a lot about it. Well, I have some years of experience. Anyway, um, so I found out how the left and the socialists have been pressing media in in serious threatening terms with together with their families and everything, and in order to convey media to release or withdraw their support for the sense of what is good and what is not good in my case. That is one thing. And if because they know when the media withdraw their support, well, what happens then? What could the socialist leftists? Well, they can. Well, they want to drain me, of course. They want to drain me, and you know, I actually made some had some uh, initializing talks with them, and it is it is actually by no other circumstance totally obvious that they are in no mental disposition ever to even consider me getting my freedom ever or and getting myself ability to live my life as an individual without confession to some fucking ideology, collectivist, collective social ideology that is controlled by the capitalist I, which actually, well, and what happens when I kind of realized that, well, the only fucking thing I can do to not because if the whale which represents Urdusi, what happened when the red ones actually pressed media uh, targeted real individuals in media in their homes in their lives threatening their families there to withdraw their support or attention in, towards me. What happened then? Well, the media kind of resigned towards the whale. But that fucking stupid old dude, well, he went the other way, using using the left to kind of, well, suppress me. So, and when I actually just kind of confront this stupid fucking, well, when I confront this kind of people with the most obvious question of, well, I am an individual. I, 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 I was never with under your in your group. Why should I be in your group today? Why should you? Why should I? Why is it that you are so confused that you actually demand me to to give some kind of promise for life to always honor your group, whatever it might mean. And when I do this kind of questioning, just questioning, well, what about my individualization? What about if I don't agree? What about if that ain't me? Well, then they actually, well, they actually uh, communicated that to me that without submission, without submission, without submission towards the socialist propaganda, which the fucking whale clothed it in as much as possible before when I gave media the shot from a perspective of well trust and well whatever. Um, so they actually communicated to me that well, if you don't wanna submit, well, if you don't wanna become kind of like the collective slave of the slave of the collective here, take that for granted and be happy and thankful. Well, then we will kind of make the war towards you. So that seems to be the, the circumstances for now, and that is that. So that has been. Uh, I had to adjust a little bit towards that kind of level of implied social capital, social totalitarianism in this context. So, um, but of course, I I have to refuse, of course. What else? What else is there? Well, and if not for anything else, for the well, what is justice? Well, what is justice? So so they actually think that in that sense that well we are winning, but well, this kind of made me well it brought up some what do you have to what should I say? Well, it brought up some serious anger, which helped me uh, unravel and unfuck my own brain so that it is now working again in such a case that I actually uh, care enough to, well, to to actually so that I care enough so actually make the extra effort and engagement to distribute some hate against you. But it is um, well, and what is annoying besides that is that well, because I was on Twitter for well, a few weeks back, and this fucking whale friendship community group. Well, is that how you? Is that how you treat your friends? Hmm? Is for real? Is that how it goes? Because that was well, that was the meaning as well. And it was all of this shit. The problem is that, well, you might have become kind of, you did it yourself. It wasn't me. You kind of did it yourself. You became this kind of everyone. You kind of collectively unified the world against me. So that is some serious Marxism going on for real. Um, and well, because that is what happened. That is actually what happened. Um, but the thing with that is that when I realized, because I was kind of rather happy when it was, well, the one girl that made the effort and all the this. I kind of thought, well, she deserved it. But after this kind of shift came, when it became more and more MMA, when it became more and more obvious that, well, we wanted to kind of fuck you up, and well, at least from the other kind of places that made the demand for her, well, because well, family goes first, of course. Even well, that is obvious. But still though, it made me kind of wanna, well, if the world unified in this kind of Marxism, I am the last. I am your opposition. I am, because I refuse to become part in such circumstances which have for very long time um, with extreme measurements or methods worked, and I was at that time and before, I was I was kind of like the nice dude. Well, but I got blamed for being like, well, but in this circumstance, well, because I don't wanna, well, why the fuck should I ever try to place myself on some fucking arc with the bullies, knowing that they know that I know that they know that it was some kind of bullied setup. Why the fuck should I? And when they gloat in this, well, we are powerful, you're kind of like, well, what do you actually value? Because you well, a unified world. Well, great. You kind of did the Marxist thing. Well, and I kind of am the resort against it. But the problem is for you is that when I made a stance from this realization that I will have to submit to everyone, and even under the conditions that rape should be regarded a gift from the socialist community. Well, great fucking idea. Do you think, well, do you think that would be, whatever. with under these kind of circumstances, with those unimaginable mental dispositions that cannot be resolved without serious, serious convictions, perhaps collusions as well, but convictions anyway. So I concluded myself being a sovereign individual, at least in these kind of areas that by state, by the foundation of every modern state is kind of taken for granted. But these kind of values, those are seriously withdrawn from me under this mad, mad collective aim to mindfuck my views and my especially my respect and my regard for myself. But because I constantly get this psychological load of well, shouldn't you question your value? Well, aren't you kind of well? But in a world where I am kind of the only one, at least for now, the only one that actually, and I know it is for myself primarily, but eventually it will become for my family. So, well, I might be the ego guy now, but still, even with the big ego, I am actually demanding this kind of freedom and justice that was taken for granted before. Because I won't fucking accept your future. No, no way. And if you are to conclude that, well, if one guy wants to not become a slave under whales are acting in totalitarian imperialistic red leftist, well, it's all tied together, and I'm kind of the one who figured it out and made shook my head, but if they make me to be, if they conclude war on me for just me, if I conclude that there is no possibility to actually live a valuable life under this kind of circumstances, which I did, if I by that conclusion get proclaimed and get groups proclaiming war against me, what the fuck should I then do? If it's all tied together, well, you're kind of like the Marxist people now, right? But what does that make me? Well, that kind of makes me like to do. That kind of makes me the winner, because if I ain't proposing anything more than individual and family rights to not live like slaves. If you go and make war against me, if the Marxist group, kind of like this bigger majority of the people, if you kill me, the individual that actually don't want to comply in your fakeness. If you kill me for not wanting to become part of the fake community, which what does that make you? Well, for instance, that by doing that, how the fuck should you then possibly be able to mm, to convey anyone of this kind of well we urge for the weak groups in the minorities in society, and those that have doesn't have like those who have circumstances that make them unable to stand on their own you see where I am going with this. If you kill the individual, well, how the fuck could you then? How could you then talk about how you support those who have lesser circumstances to compete in this new happy peaceful world that you think you are creating? And who is the warmongers in this case? Is it me? Huh? Well, you should think about this. At least a couple of more. It's stupid. Is what it is. So I went back to my well, because I hate you. I hate you for doing this to me. I actually hate it. So, well, if the only two possible, I used to say that, well, every problem has at least two solutions, but that was at a minimum. And when it is only proposed that, well, you go and become this kind of Soviet imprisoned uh, uh, slave, or you come and you or hop on the boat, which is kind of founded by whom? Wasn't that kind of the problem with kind of the rape thing? Fuck that. Under. Never. So I make my own circumstances. And if that means me, uh, if that means me reallocating my hate in other orientations, well, does that make me the loser, or does that make you the loser? Because what you did try to not what you did try to justify on me, what you did to me was, well, in some sort of ways, some kind of, it was some, in some sense, justified from your misconceptions of who I was. But from that harassment, well, thanks a lot. I kind of became the hate that you tried to finding me. But there is so well. But I shouldn't talk about it that much because I might get locked up now. It's not good, but it is what it is. So take your fucking boat. Take your fucking boat. You know, not there. No, there was no place. There was no place that didn't offer me this kind of you know that we are the police, but well, forget about that. Let's be thankful instead. I ain't like that because I have heart and I have values and I have some kind of decency and I have a memory. And actually used to. I think it is important to remember which was the douchebag. What did he do? When did he do it? Was it motivated? Well, was it justified? Stupid world. How can you be so? How can you be so? It isn't a natural way. It really ain't. But I might talk more about that later. We might have something to learn.